Welcome to today's episode of GLICO Life Podcast. Today we are discussing about women and wealth protection. And our conversation today is inspired by the theme Give to Gain. We know that as women, we do a lot. We put in our efforts when it comes to work. In fact, wherever we find ourselves, whether at church or ministry or work, the corporate world, or in the market, wherever women find themselves, you see that they put in that energy, that effort to want to make things happen, to want to succeed. And at the end of the day, of course, we're all looking at, earning something, an income, for our family and our children. We are doing all this for the family, but what about women? What about ourselves? What are we giving to ourselves? And what are we gaining for ourselves? And that is all what the conversation is about today. And I have very wonderful women here with us who will be throwing more light on some of these questions. So join me and let's welcome women. I have here Abena Buedua Frimpong of GLICO Life. You're very welcome to today's session of the podcast. And I also have a very wonderful lady, Francisca Jaba. You're also very welcome to today's podcast. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation. We are glad you're here. Okay, so as we already know, our theme for today, our discussion today is on the premise of being inspired by the bigger theme, which is give to gain. And I want to find out from you ladies, what does it actually mean to give? As a woman, in terms of finances, what does it mean to give? Yes, Abena.
Okay. So it means to put down regular contributions towards your financial future. And it doesn't have to be a big amount. It can just be about 100 cedis a month. And if you look at it, that will take just about almost 5 cedis a day for a working day.
Isn't that too small?
Well, it might look small, but little drops of water. So
Makes
regular small contributions can do something for the future.
Okay. So Franca, tell me, does the consistency in doing this really matter?
It does matter. So looking at it in the broader view, there are certain times in life where you need to make provision for a huge amount of money.
That's right.
Which doesn't come just in a day.
That's right.
So as you keep on saving, just as Abena said, little drops of water. So as you keep on putting something down, it will grow. So at the time there is a big event, you have something to learn on. You can't wait for the event or the issue to come up before you say you are going to save. We save to protect.
Right.
So savings then becomes a security, a form of security.
That's right.
For our future.
That's right. And thank you so much, ladies. For me, this is actually a mind shift. That's because the question that I asked, that what does it mean to give? In people's mind, including mine, until you started giving me your understanding, it simply would mean that giving to others, right? But I think that is what we've already said from the beginning, that it is not only about giving to others, but it's also about giving to yourself. And like you have both explained, giving to yourself means putting down something towards the future, towards protecting the future. Thank you so much. Ladies, we know that one of the ways that companies or institutions help protect their employees is to have them or put them on that group cover. And over here in GLICO Life, we know it is called the Group Comprehensive Plan. So Abena, I want to ask you, how does that protect us as women? When we are talking about the employees, the women, how does it protect us?
The Group Comprehensive Plan is an around-the-clock 24/7 protection program. It does provide benefits in case of death, permanent disability, critical illnesses, or accidental events that happen. So this around-the-clock protection gives women the peace of mind, knowing that if I'm giving my all to my employer, I'm working hard, as women always do, and something should happen, there is something I'm going to gain from it. So it's a very good thing for employers to take this Group Comprehensive Plan for all the employees. It is very good. It is very good. And for me, every institution out there, as long as you have women, well, yes, men too matter, but in this case, we are talking about women.
So as long as you have women in there, be sure to have the group comprehensive cover, and GLICO Life can be your number one plug. Okay, so Franca, tell me, as women, do we really need to pay attention to these benefits, these group comprehensive benefits?
Yes, of course. Just as life is full of uncertainties, that is why you need to see for the future. Just as we always stressed on, not today, for the future, which is uncertain. So that when certain life events happen, you have something to learn on.
Thank you very much. They say the word to the wise is enough. So you out there, whenever you find yourself in any company, find out as a woman, find out whether the institution has this kind of protection for you, because you're giving out your all, and then you should also expect something good in return, which is in the form of the group comprehensive cover.
Thank you. Not to cut you short, I believe just as we talked about the group comprehensive, it's basically looks at the employee giving the cover to employers, right? Employers rather giving cover to the employees. But in as much that your employer is doing this for you, you can also take up personal policies.
Okay.
Which comes at flexible premium payments.
Okay.
Here in GLICO, we have one by name end of service benefit. Even though the name is end of service, it's a flexible savings and insurance or protection cover put together. Where we have personal hospitalization cash income, we have the death and then the accident. Once you save some, which you can claim after the maturity or after the policy expires. So I believe when your employer is securing the family group comprehensive cover for you, you can personally be putting something down yourself to also protect yourself and your family.
I think that is really brilliant. That is really brilliant. You're not only relying on what the company is offering you, but you're also taking the initiative, that bold step to also take a cover for yourself. I think that's really brilliant, and thank you for adding that. Now, let's talk about, I think we should dive more into this end of service benefits. I think it will be of interest to many women out there. So how do you actually sign on to end of service benefits?
So here in GLICO,
and if you can share more benefits.
Here in GLICO, we have a lot of ways that you can purchase our products. You can buy the end of service benefit, which is the ESV, on our website. You can get it. We have GLICO app. You can also visit any of our offices for an agent to assist you in onboarding the policy. And this particular policy comes with a lot of benefit, just as I said earlier on. We have the savings, we have the hospital cash income, we have the death cover, and we have the accident cover. With the savings, it's a flexible way of putting something down for issues that will come up in life, which you will need support, like supporting your husband to pay school fees, personal education, you need money to assist yourself. You can also have access to it. So whilst you save, at any point in time that you need, you can come to GLICO and you'll be able to give you some to take care whilst you are still having the insurance cover, which when the unforeseen eventualities happen, you can learn on.
On which they will happen, because that is all what life is about.
Life
uncertainties. Yes. So Abna, why do you think any woman out there should really take this bold step? Why should it matter to them? Life insurance, why should it matter to a woman out there?
Like you said, life happens. We don't wish bad for anyone, but look around us. We have friends who have passed on or been diagnosed with critical illnesses. Life happens. So anything can happen at any time. So insurance is protection for the future. In case something should happen, you have something to lean on.
Thank you so much. So let's move on to, somebody might be out there asking, okay, insurance. What if I don't do it? What if I don't take that step? Then what happens? What are the consequences?
So just as Abna said earlier, imagine you are not covered under any of our policies, and then boom, here comes sickness. What will you do? You have the money there, so you don't need to be rich.
You don't need to have accumulated enough before you think of insurance. Insurance must work with you as you move.
I like that.
Because of uncertainties.
Yes.
You shouldn't wait for the event to happen before saying, where are my insurance, or how can I be sure what has happened? The thing has already happened.
Exactly.
Imagine being involved in an accident. How are you going to get the money to pay the premium for the insurance? So you start it now, you work with it, so that when the event happens, you have something to lie. So that is why here GLICO, we are always there to cushion you.
Okay. And I really like that. I like how that you said, as you move, also let the insurance also move, or move with the insurance. I really like that. But somebody also may be thinking that, yeah, I have to buy the insurance, right? I have to make payments, I have to make some contribution. But what if suddenly my income stops? What if my income stops and I'm unable to buy the insurance or continue the insurance? What happens then?
Well, that is why we are supposed to start before that event happens. There are certain policies that have certain inputs in which, if your income stops, that waiver would cater for the premium payment.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So if your income stops now, what are you going to do? So you're supposed to prepare for that by taking insurance. Okay. And when we talk of income, it's not just being employed by an organization. Nowadays, people have side hustles that they are doing. So any form of income you are getting, you can put something aside for a rainy day. Okay, because like we said, life happens.
Okay. Is insurance expensive? Do you think anybody at all can afford insurance?
Yes, anybody at home can afford, because insurance can be purchased as low as 5
Oh, that's interesting.
So with the amount, anybody, how much is not?
I think it's 12 CDs.
Exactly.
So it's
putting down, just as we said earlier, the little drops.
okay.
1 CD, 2 CD, you will get there.
Okay.
Insurance is not expensive. It's very flexible.
Okay.
And we have a lot at GLICO, which is designed for you. So whichever amount you have, you will get covered for something.
Yes, and to add to what Franca said, GLICO Life is a company that thinks about everybody. So we have insurance for the informal sector, for the formal sector. We have the Jean Crosso, which you can pay like 10 CDs a day. And I mean, if we are asked to buy lunch, I am sure all of us, our lunch exceeds 10 CDs a day, isn't it?
Certainly, certainly.
So you can take that kind of policy. There is insurance in it. It also has a savings plan, and you are covered. Yes, so it's not expensive at all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies.
To add to what Abna said,
Yes.
imagine GLICO having a policy like more with 15 CDs, you still have access to health consultation. Doctors will attend to you. And then you don't need to go to the hospital. They'll just attend to you on the phone and then assist you to get your guys at your comfortable. So
That's
we have
really
a lot.
wonderful.
We have a lot to
That's
offer.
really wonderful. Oh, it's so unfortunate we are coming to a conclusion of our session today, our podcast today. But before we go, I want you ladies to give us your last words. Who do we start with? Abna.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would say, go for insurance today. Save towards your future by protecting it now. And like we said, insurance is not for the rich person. It's for everybody. No matter your income level, you can go for insurance. If you think, I have savings, I don't need insurance, that means if something happens, you're going to tap into your savings to, get some
Or
money.
probably collect everything in your
Yes.
savings.
But if you have both, insurance will cater for that one. You still have your savings to
Excellent. Excellent.
be there for yourself and your family. So please go for insurance today.
Thank you. Go for insurance today. Yes, Franca, your last words.
Procrastination is a thief of time. The hour to protect is now. Don't wait. Today matters. And just as it said, work with insurance and know that you are covered. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my ladies, for those wonderful insights that you have shared. And to you out there, thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for joining us through. And I do hope that you have followed the conversation right from the start till now, and you have picked up something that you're going to work on today. Buy GLICO Life Insurance today. I think that is the take-home word for today. Buy GLICO Life Insurance today and protect your future. Thank you for staying through, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good bye.